Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of GMS, and salutations to the brothers just pushing the truth, the hopefully by ways, and then who's standing for that a just cause, right? Verse 1 it says, Dear any of you, so like this Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 6, verse 1, it says, Dear any of you having a matter against another, go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints. Verse 2, Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the saints shall judge the world, and if the world shall be judged by the saints, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matter? Right? Why he's asking these questions is because, basically, us brethren between ourselves, we the hopefully like not supposed to live like hypocrites. We're not supposed to live like hypocrites. So the saints being the ones who's going to judge the world, they remember the prophet. The scripture says the prophet did the mouth of Yahweh Shai. So and this is also the temple, the body. This one body Yahweh Shai, right? We basically hopefully like we're not supposed to be ashamed of the word or the spirit or to be condemned, right? And this also comes with the wisdom and understanding that we ourselves, we brethren, we are at liberty, because we do understand that Yahweh Shai, he is righteousness of he's our righteousness, right? And not only this, but to also with a clear conscience, because we can't be just saying by the grace of Yahweh Shai we can put away this the laws or the commandments. We gotta show our work, because basically Yahweh Shai is just there for the men that would fight, to keep the will of his father, right? Even in the lowest state, you just keep pushing, strive for perfection to the best of your ability, in verse 3, know ye not that we shall judge angels? See, even angels, right? How much more things that pertain to this life. So within us, within things of this world, we've been given that blessing, to judge these things in the world. This is why it says in Isaiah chapter 58. Yeah, can. Isaiah 58, verse 1, it says, Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Right? So we the one we supposed to, put judgment within our nation. We the one that the watchman does our task. Right? Verse 4. It says, If then ye have judgment of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the church. Right? So is with another two. Right? We have ranks. We have the elders, like for instance, they are not to be frustrated all the time to take on, small matters, but we are, the younger brothers, right? The bigger things, the heavy spiritual stuff, we leave to the elders, right? It's like the account between Moses in the book of Exodus. He told him to get the elders that they could judge the people, right? And he could deal with the bigger matters, right? Verse 5, it says, I speak to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you? right? No, not one that should be able to judge between his brethren. No, we gotta get somebody, who, just to show we have brothers between us who basically they're the one that's stricter than some, right? There's a reason for that, because Yahweh he got a way to keep his his body in check, because what it says that he chastised the ones he loved, right? He called the house of David the beloved, verse 6. But brethren go to law with brethren, and that before the unbelievers. You see, we go to law with brethren, to keep a brother strong, and also to the unbelievers, that we could be manifesting. All that we speak is truth. Not only so, and to warn them, right? So there's a lot of with these unbelievers, going to these unbelievers now, there's a lot of misunderstanding in the scriptures. They don't get, right? This is Jude. Jude. It's like you. Yep. Jude. There's only one chapter. Read it from the 10th verse. It says, "But these speak evil of those things which they know not, right? But what they know naturally, as brute beasts, in those things they corrupt themselves," right? Even they know that being supposed to doing certain things, they corrupt themselves. Like, for instance, they know that a man lying with another man, or a woman lying with another woman, this is there's no value in it. They can't make any children, right? And even self is abomination. But what do you find? These 2/3 and these other people, nations, they push these things, right? They know these things by nature, but they brute beasts, and even the things that they don't understand, they shun upon. Verse 11 says, "Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perish in the gainsaying of Kor." Right? Because it's an example, right? This Matthews, I think it's chapter 7, verse 1. Especially these, people in Christianity, they read this verse here that says, "Judge not, that ye be not judged." Right? this they like to show this, but they don't read down. Right? When reading down this week, the understanding come. This should show that brute beasts, and they get this basically by parroting what these false prophets, these pastors in the church have said. Right? Verse 2. It says, "For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, right? And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured unto you." This is why exactly when reading Corinthians, right? Brother go with brother to the law, and that before the unbelievers, right? Because we not supposed to show ourselves hypocrite, right? Verse 3, it says, "And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thine brother's eye, right? But considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye?" Right? And how we do this to not show ourselves hypocrite? The scripture says in Galatians, right? In Galatians chapter 6:1, it said, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one." Right? This brother going to brother into the law, because what the scripture says, the law is spiritual. Right? It's Romans in Romans chapter 8. Right? Right? It says, "Restore such as one in the spirit of meekness, considering yourself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear ye one another's burden, and so fulfill the law of Amashiach." You see? This is how we go to each other with the meekness, because we know that none of us is being worthy. right? And in doing this, what makes us worthy then again is for us, bearing each other burden, you know, who we lean upon each other, for strength, right? The scripture says iron sharpen iron, right? So that's how we not hypocrites as a body, we go to each other sincere, right? So going back to the Matthew 7, right? It says, how will thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote, verse 4, right? Out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. Right? Especially you have grudge with a brother too, go to him and make it right. You guys drink over it, the Guyana, you could, you even go through, precept with the brother, come out. There's nothing being manly when you can't express yourself to a brother, right? There's nothing manly about it. The scripture says in Hebrews chapter, I think it's 13 and 1, it says, let brotherly love continue. See? Right? Here also, the spirit being. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 8, it says, open thy mouth for the slacker. Verse 9, it says, open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. And that's us, right? The hopeful, like the man that's pushing the shoot. The one that's poor, that's, laboring for the shoot, putting in that work. Basically, just wanted to, the topic on judging, just for edification, right? And this is just one of the ways, it could be explained, right? But hey, we sincere with each other, and yes, for those who not unbelievers, we can judge, but we only judge by the word of Yahweh Shemi Yoshai, right? And for the brothers, I hope this video is edifying, I'll praise to Yahweh Shemi Yoshai, Bashem Kakadash, and Brakatam. Shalom.